Okay, so let's take a look at this interlude and the solo in Ramble On. Now, these are both done on electric guitar, and if you're asking, well, what in the world is the interlude? What are you talking about? Well, it's the part that comes in like halfway in the second verse. After Robert Plant does his vocals leave, and like the second half of the verse is taken over with this part that sounds kind of like this. Okay, now that part is actually two guitars in harmony. One guitar doing this line, doing that over and over, and the other one is on the string beneath it. Okay, so I'm going to teach you each one of these lines together, but they're also playable at the same time. If you want to actually make it sound like the recording, you can just put them together. All right, so we'll cover how to do that. So let's look at the top line here. It starts at the 15th fret with your second finger, and then you pick that, and then just hold the note, and then do a pull off down to 14, and then back to 15 with a pick. So we have this. Then you do that again, then again. So you do 3 pull-offs to 14, then pick 15 again. So we have the first initial 15, then this. Then pick 15 and slide it up to 17. And then do that same pull to 14 from 15 and pick 15. All right, so we have the initial 15, and then 3 of these. Then you pick and slide to 17, and then end it with that same pull routine, just one time. So the whole thing. Okay, and you would do that over and over again. Then we start with, except on that, the first 15 note is just held to start it. When you start over, when you go, you're already holding that note, so then you just start into the figure without starting it with that 15 by itself, because it's already ringing. All right, it's the same pattern pretty much on the third string here, just a little bit different notes. We're going to start your first finger at the 14th fret and your third finger at the 16th fret. Pick the 16 and then pull off and hold that, and then pull off that 3 times to the 14. And then slide up to the 18 with the third finger, and then come back down, 14. So it's the same pattern, just basically instead of 14, 15, 17 on this string, it's 14, 16, 18 on this one. Now the pattern is just a little bit different. A little bit tiny different feel there, but what we're going to do to put it together is you're going to do a little bar at the 14th fret with your first finger. So you're covering the second and third string. Okay, and then you're going to take, this is a little bit more difficult to play, but it's a good exercise to work on. We're playing double stops when we play 2 notes at the same time. Third finger at the 16th fret on the third string, and then the second finger at the 15th fret on the second string. Pick those 2 notes together. I like to pick the bottom note with a pick, and then the third string note with a pick, and then the second string note with my middle finger. So you're picking and plucking at the same time. So they both sound at the same time, almost kind of like a piano style playing chords. Hit those, and let that ring out. That's the first one. And then we do that same pull off, but you have to do it, you're pulling off to that bar, and you play both of these, this 15 and 16 at the same time, and then flick them both downwards to that 14 bar, and then come back down and pick those and hold them again. And we do that same figure, that same pull-off figure, 3 times, just like when we did them by themselves. And then you're going to pick these 2 and slide them up 2 frets together. You remember the slide. And then, of course, we come back down and we end it with that pull-off. And then back to the 16 and 15. So we have... And you would do that 3 times, and then it goes back into the chorus. All right, now let's take a look at the guitar solo. Guitar solo is also a harmonized guitar part, meaning that we have a figure going, and we have another one up here up top. Okay, now the one that's played here is much more prominent in the mix, and the other one's just a harmony part, much lower in the mix, just to kind of fill in the sound and give it that harmonized sound. So if you're going to play this, when you play this by yourself, obviously you can't do both of these at the same time. I would say probably play this one down here, but we're going to learn them both. So let's start with the one at the 7th, your first finger at the 7th fret on the 1st string, and then your 3rd finger at the 9th fret. And you're going to pick this 9th fret, and you're going to pull off to 7. Okay? Then you're going to come over to the 10th fret with your pinky on the 2nd string and put your 1st finger at the 7th fret on that same string. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pick the 10 and pull off the 7. And then you're going to pick 9 with your 3rd finger on the 3rd string. Now you could probably pick this with an upstroke here, then another upstroke on the 2nd string, and then a downstroke on the 3rd. All right, now let's do that 3 times. Except on that 3rd one, we're going to stop here on the 3rd string, 10th fret. So we have this 2 times all the way through. We're going to stop just after 3 notes in the pattern. And then we go back to the top note and go all the way through the same 5 notes again. So we have all 5 notes, then again, then just the first 3, and then start over, back down all through all 5 notes. And then we're just going to, the rest of the notes are on the 2nd string. We're going to pick 10th fret with our pinky, pick 7, no pull off here, back to 10. So it's going to go 10, 7, 10, 7, 10. So we have, okay, that's just 2 notes on the same string. I mean, I'm so sure if you know the sound of this, which you should if you're going to learn the song, you probably know what it sounds like. So we have this all together. Okay, then we start the second half of the solo, is the exact same thing. And then we do that same figure, but we end it after this with your 3rd finger at the 9th fret, right underneath that 10 on the 2nd string. So the 2nd and 1st and 2nd parts are exactly the same, except you add that note at the very end. Okay, that's the main part. You're probably going to want to play that when you're playing by yourself. But here, let's talk about this part. It's a lot lower in the mix. You're going to pick most of these notes. You're going to, first of all, on the 2nd string, put your 1st finger at the 14th fret, your 2nd finger at the 15th, and your pinky at the 17th. And you're going to go 17, 15, 14, then 16 on the 3rd string, and then 14 with your 1st finger on the 3rd string. So we have, all right, so we have those 5 notes, and you do them again. And the 3rd time, just like we did here, we're just going to do 3. So we're going to do the first 3 notes, 17, 15, 14. And then we're going to go through all 5 notes again. So of course we get this. Okay, then take your 1st finger after that last group of 5 notes, move it over to the 2nd string, 14th fret. Pick that, come back down to 3 with the 16th fret, back to the 2nd string, 14th fret, back to that 16, and then back to that 14 and hold it. So that little ending part is this. So all together. Okay, then we do the exact same thing the 2nd time through. So we just end it on this, after we've done that note, we add this note at the end, the 16th fret on the 6th string. Okay, so that should take care of all the guitar parts, and ramble on.